Aloha, everybody! It is I, the Great Clement, and I am back on the PlayStation 2 because I've been in a certain mood lately. For the Final Fantasy retrospective, I replayed Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I've been reminiscing about the original Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, so I've been thinking about the Squaresoft/Square Enix titles that came out for the PlayStation 2 quite a bit, and that made me think, what Let's Play do I want to do next? And I've been in the mood to play The Bouncer. Basically, imagine that Squaresoft did their own take on Double Dragon. A girl gets kidnapped, you play as a whole bunch of people who have to run through the streets and beat up a whole bunch of thugs in order to save her. Except this brings its unique brand of Squaresoft weirdness to everything. Tetsuya Nomura designed all of the characters, so their outfits are really wacky. And, this game is actually mostly cutscene and not much gameplay.
The Bouncer.
And in case you're wondering about the text that's above The Bouncer, Sion, a man haunted by a tragic past. Within him lie strength and kindness, but also great sorrow. All this will change when he meets a girl named Dominique. These are the residents of Dog Street. Aw, yeah. Because the bar they work at takes place on Dog Street. Anywho, I am testing out the button sensitivity because this is one of the few games that took advantage of that feature. So like if you press lightly, you'll do one attack. If you push really hard, you'll do a different attack. And I wanted to make sure that was right for the playthrough. But ladies and gentlemen, this game is mostly cutscene. I would say the gameplay is pretty darn shallow. There's really not much to it. I wouldn't even really compare it in the same way to a Streets of Rage, a Double Dragon, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because it feels like every time you get into combat, it's usually a bunch of vignettes. Like, you'll watch like a 3-minute cutscene, then like a very short battle. Then you'll watch another 2-3-minute cutscene, then a very short battle. This is going to be mostly cutscene. So, if I happen to snark on what's happening, I can't help it. There's not much I can talk over. And this is a Let's Play, not a walkthrough. You clicked on Let's Play The Bouncer. You only got yourself to blame if I talk over the cutscenes, so I am going to be quiet for the important stuff, don't worry.
First, an Earth-based station transmits a guidance signal. Upon receiving the signal, the satellite uses a large mirror to generate electricity from solar power. The electricity is then converted to microwave radiation and sent down to the ground station.
Ah, that's really boring.
The ground station then converts the microwave radiation back to electricity, which can then be used for general purposes.
Like creating a Death Star.
The question is, do we need such a costly energy program during this time of recession? And how will people be affected by the large amounts of microwave radiation on Earth? While the Mikado Corporation is in charge of a major internationally funded...
Man, Google Earth kicks ass in the future. Target headed for the Fate Bar on Dog Street. Mikado Corporation is already on the move.
Damn it! They beat us to it?
Even though this isn't really considered a Final Fantasy game, it does kind of share a very similar aesthetic to like Final Fantasy VII, where you have like this big mega corporation. It's almost kind of cyberpunkish, but it's not quite as futuristic as Final Fantasy VIII, but oh boy, Tetsuya Nomura definitely lends his crazy, crazy flair to all of the costumes, and these are the Mikado Special Forces, ladies and gentlemen. They fucking torpedo out of a helicopter, running head first into the ground. Luckily, they got those armor helmets on, so they don't get brain damage, but it is something else, man. It is something else. Man, why did they make these goggles look like the Virtual Boy? Yeah, it's a Squaresoft title, but unfortunately we're not getting any Nobuo Uematsu music for this one. I don't know what he would do with this material, but yeah.
Hey, Volt. What's with the sour face? You're scaring away the customers.
Sorry. Just doing my job.
Yeah.
And yes, that is a cactuar on his jacket.
Sure is weird weather for spring.
Hi, boss.
Hey, Dominique, he's been waiting for you. Hurry up.
You're looking busy, Co.
Hey, if we're not doing anything, it means the bar's doing just fine, right, Sion?
Good morning.
Hey, where were you? You're late.
Well, Hey, Sion, when's your birthday?
Birthday? Why?
Sion, it's your shift.
Yeah, I know.
Come to think of it, it was exactly 1 year ago today you first came to this bar and started that giant brawl fest.
Then that means today's your first anniversary as a bouncer. Here, I got this for you.
What's this?
A present.
You know, it's another accessory for your dog collar. Because you live on Dog Street, so you're just like you're a dog. What is with these character designs, Tetsuya Nomura? Oh my god. But yeah, we have 3 playable characters in the Bouncer, and you can choose any which one of them you want for any specific battle. But you're kind of encouraged to stick with one in order to get the most out of the story. So for now, let's play as Sion Barzad.
Get back, Dominique!
So yeah, folks, like I said, this is a beat-em-up game. It's not really an RPG. It has kind of RPG elements in that you use experience to enhance your character's stats, but it's mostly a beat-em-up, and the stats don't really matter that much. Not really. But the most important thing I would recommend is get to know the block button, which is R1. This game has ragdoll physics, so every time people get knocked around, their limbs, they just lose all control of their body and they just flop around like dolls. It's fantastic. I love ragdoll physics. They're the best. And it gives you a lot of funny-ass scenes in the Bouncer when you're, like, juggling people up in the air and stuff. Sliding them along the ground whenever you kick them on the ground. It's fantastic.
Here goes!
Oh, yeah! Every single one of the face buttons is an attack button. Square, triangle, X, circle, those all are attacks, and depending on how lightly or how hard you push on those buttons, they will do different things. So sometimes you can get a kick combo, sometimes you can do a nice double dragon type swirl spin kick that knocks out everyone around you, you know? It's always important to experiment with the characters to see what they're capable of. I would say Sion is probably the most versatile character. He's the main guy, so of course he is. But at the end of every battle, You use the experience you get from killing enemies, and if you have enough to get a new move, or you can get enough to raise your defense, raise your health bar, or raise your strength. And this game has New Game Plus, so you can keep building on characters even on a second playthrough.
Dominique!
By the way, I'm adding a counter for every time Sion says Dominique. Make it a drinking game! You totally won't get alcohol poisoning. Aw, yeah.
Who are they?
They were from Mikado.
You're awfully well informed.
Let's go to Mikado.
Whoa, hang on. I've got connections. Let me look into it first. I need you to check on something for me. Yeah, I need to get into Mikado fast. Look, I'm in a hurry. Yeah, thanks. Great. What time? Gotcha. We're taking off now. Thanks. I owe you one. There's a special train at the central station that's headed for Mikado.
When?
In half an hour.
Let's go then. We don't have much time.
Looks like he's got a heart after all. Especially when it comes to her.
No kidding.
But we're gonna do this all over again, and this time I'm gonna play as Volt Kruger.
They're Mikado Special Forces.
So Volt Kruger is basically the powerhouse. He has the highest strength of all the three characters, and all of the unlockable moves that Volt gets are like grabs. So he can do like these little power bombs, these little throw around type moves, and for the most part, I've never really noticed that grabs are blockable. I don't think they're blockable. I always seem to get them to happen whenever I want them to do something to an enemy, so, you know, Volt's pretty useful in that way.
You're going down!
Oh god, he snapped his neck. Oh god. In case you're wondering what that is, every now and then a character is going to chime in and do their taunt move. And if you push the R2 button as soon as someone does their taunt move, then all three characters will do what's called a Trinity Move. And when you do your Trinity Move, they will triple team someone and deal out unblockable damage that will absolutely help with the fight. So you get to watch this very bizarre animation, and it gets funnier depending on the enemy type. Oh god, I can't wait when we get to the top of the Mikado building. You're gonna laugh your ass off. But, so every now and then you just get free damage. It never kills an opponent. That's one thing I noticed. If they have, like, no health, it won't actually kill them, but it will drain their entire health bar so that you can punch them once and then they're done. But, again, pay attention to your friends. If they're signaling for a taunt, push the R2 button, and you'll be able to pull off that Trinity effect. Aw, yeah.
They weren't after me?
They're making their move.
And this is Ko Leifo. He's got a lot of tattoos, and he's very, speedy. He's very speedy. That's the best quality about him, I would say. He's the weakest character of the three, but he's the fastest, so, you know. At least I think he's supposed to be the fastest. Sion kind of feels like the fastest to me, but, you know. Ow!
finish you off?
Aw, yeah. But, you may have noticed when I select a character, they actually get their time to shine. They actually say dialogue themselves, and so you get different scenes whenever you play as certain characters. With this playthrough, I'm going to be doing a big editing job, right? I am actually going to be splicing in every single character's important cutscenes so that we get the most out of the story, which means before this playthrough started, I actually had to do 3 separate playthroughs, one focusing on Sion, one focusing on Volt,
This isn't good.
and one focusing on Kolefo. And so one thing you'll notice when you're rewatching scenes is that they actually play out a little bit differently depending on who you had the last fight with. Ko, for example, we actually get to hear who he's talking to on the cell phone.
I need you to check on something for me. Yeah, I need to get into Mikado fast.
No, don't tell me the target's been...
Look, I'm in a hurry.
I can't believe you let this happen. Hold on, I'm checking now.
Yeah, thanks.
There's a special MSD cargo train leaving the central station.
Great. What time?
In 30 minutes.
Gotcha. We're taking off now.
I'll be there to back you up in the orage.
Thanks. I owe you one.
So yeah, that's kind of interesting. If you didn't play as Ko, you wouldn't know who he was talking to and what about. So I'm going to be showing all these little scene differences throughout the entire story, splicing in the more content-filled parts throughout the entire playthrough. And like I said, the bouncer is not amazing when it comes to gameplay. It's nothing crazy special. I wouldn't even say the bosses or anything are that challenging or anything, but I like to think of the bouncer as just a really wacky 2.5-hour anime video game movie. And because it brings a lot of its Squaresoft wackiness, its batshit craziness, it's kind of entertaining, and I'm still glad I own a copy of this game. And I want to share this madness with you in case you never played it. So come back for part 2 of The Bouncer.